today's topic is binary number. Binary number. And when we are talking about binary number, it has to do with counting in digit of 2. So when you are counting in digit of 2, what are those two digits? Digit of 0 and 1. When you are counting in digit of 0 and 1, it is referred to as binary number, that is base 2. So what we are looking at under binary number today we want to look at addition. Addition in base 2. Then subtraction in base 2. Then we have multiplication and division. Multiplication and division in base 2. So these are what we want to look at under binary number. So generally they refer to as arithmetic of binary number. So you can call them arithmetic of binary number, that is to add a number in base 2, subtraction and multiplication and division. So let's first start with addition in base 2. Addition in base 2. Addition in base 2. So to add a number in base 2, before we look at the sample, if you are adding a number in base 2, let's say you have to add 1 plus 1 in base 2. Once your value is up to 2, more than 1, so you have to use a base to divide. And when you use a base to divide, so you are going to have like this one now, you can say 2 divided by 2, you are going to have 1, remainder 0. So you are going to write the remainder and you carry 1 to the next digit. That is concept we are using in adding number in binary in base 2. Okay, let's look at the sample. Let's look at the sample under addition of number in base 2. Example 1. We have simplify the following. Simplify the following. Here we have 1110 plus 1001. 2. We have 1111 plus 1101. So let's see how we can add this. The first one we have 1110, and you are going to arrange this under it. So you are going to start from the last digit. Don't start from the front. So if you are arranging, the last digit here should be here. We should have 1 here, 0, 0, 1. Then because we are adding, so we are going to have our addition sign here. And let's see. Let's add. So we have it what? 0 plus 1. So we are going to get what? 1. Likewise here, 1 plus 0, we are going to have 1. 1 plus 0, we are going to have 1. So here 1 plus 1, it will give us 2. So we cannot write 2 because we are operating in what? In base 2. And in base 2, the digit that you are expected to have there, they are what? Digit of 0 and 1. And when you are having 2, what are we going to do? We are going to use the base, which is base 2, to divide that value. Once the value is more than 0 and 1, we are going to use the base to divide. And if you are dividing it, 1 plus 1 is 2, we are going to divide it by 2 because we are operating in base 2. 2 divided by 2, we are going to have 1, remainder 0. So we are going to write the remainder. So So I'm going to put the remainder here, and this one will bring it to the next column. So in this case, our answer will be 10111 base 2. So that's the answer. Okay. Let's look at the second one, B. And we're having 1, 1, 1, 1. And we want to add with this, so we have to start from the last digit here. We're having 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay. We have to add, so our addition signs will be here. And let's add 1 plus 1, that is 2. So we are not going to write 2, we divide it by 2. 2 divided by 2, we have 1 remainder 0. So let's write remainder 0. Carry this one to the next column. And if you bring that one here, give us 1 plus 1, 2 plus 0, is still going to get 2. Divide it again. Divide it by 2. We have 1 remainder 0. So let's write remainder 0. Carry this one to the next column. And the next column here, you have 1 plus 1 plus the one you are bringing from here, that is 3. So you cannot write 3, you are still going to divide it by 2. 2 divided by 3, we are going to have 1 remainder 1. So let's write remainder 1. You carry this one to the next column. And if you bring this one here, 1 plus 1 is 2 plus the one you are bringing, that is 3. Divide again. 2 divided by 3, you are going to have 1 remainder 1. Let's write remainder 1. And this one, you bring it to the next column here. So your answer will be 11100 base 2. So that is what you are going to get if you are adding 1111 and 1101. 1111 and 1101. Okay, let's also look at another example. Let's look at another example under addition in base 2. That is addition in binary. So let's look at another example. Example 2. For example 2, you have simplify 11011 11011 base 2 plus 1111 base 2. What we are having. Okay, we are expected to simplify this. So to solve it, let's arrange it. Here, the first one we have, let's first add this first two first before we now add it to the third one. 1 plus 1 we have 2 divided by 2, that is 1 remainder 0. You write remainder 0, bring 1 here, 3 divided by 2, 1 remainder 1. So we have 1 remainder 1, you write 1, then carry the 1 here, give us 2 again. 2 divided by 2, 1 remainder 0. So you have remainder 0. You carry this one here, give us 3. 3 divided by 2, 1 remainder 1. You have remainder 1. You carry this one, you bring it here. You become 2. Divide it again. You have 1 remainder 0. You have remainder 0. You carry 1 here. So that is, if you are adding these first 2, you are getting 1 0 1 0 1 0. So these 2 now give us this. So let us now add this one now to the third one. So we are now going to add 1 0 1 0 1 0. We want to add the last one to it. That is 1 1 0 0 1. So we want to add. So let's add. 0 plus 1, we have 1. 1 plus 1, that is 2. So you divide. So you have 1 remainder 0, you write remainder 0. That one now you bring it here. You add 1 to this 0 and 0 give us 1. 1 plus this 0, we have 1. Here we have 1. Here we have 1. So finally, this is our answer. 1 1 1 1 0. So you can see that when you are having more than 2 like this, it is easy for you to first add the first 2, then you get your answer, then you can add it to the next one. Process of adding everything at the same time can create confusion. So that is the answer for addition of the 1101, 111, And okay, let's now move to subtraction. That is, when you want to subtract the subtraction in base 2. Let's look at subtraction in base 2. Subtraction in base 2. When you are subtracting, take for instance now, let's assume that you have 1, 0, and here you now have 1, 1. Let's say you have something like this and you want to subtract. So in binary number, when you are to subtract, let's say for example now 0 minus 1. 1 cannot go in 0. Because it's not possible like that, you need to come here and borrow number. When you borrow number, anything you are borrowing will represent the base you are operating with. Since you are operating with base 2, that means that one you are borrowing here will stand for represent 2. When you come here, it turns to 2. So you can now say 2 minus 1. So that's the way we subtract in binary. So if you want to subtract, any digit you are carrying will represent